You know what I hate? I hate it when people say you could build a PC for half as much when they're talking about buying a Mac computer. It's just not the same. They're not the same thing, and that's the painfully honest truth. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech's so honest it hurts. This is your first time here? Well, thank you for stopping by. If you've been here before, well, thank you for coming back, and I hope you enjoy this brand new series that I'm calling Painfully Honest Truth, where I'm going to break down arguments, products, conventional wisdom to find the core truths about the stuff we love. Today, we're going to tear apart this old chestnut. Macs are too expensive, and you could build a similar PC for half the price. This is not true. Not at all. Hold your horses. Let me tell you why. I hate it when people say, in regard to Mac prices, for that money you could buy a PC that, flies to the moon or does whatever. People who buy Macs don't want a PC. Macs and PCs are not analogous. Yes, I'm right there with you. Macs are more expensive, but you are not, when you're buying a Mac, paying only for the parts as you would be for a do-it-yourself PC. In addition to the parts, what you're paying for is proprietary software, unique design, features like AirDrop, FaceTime, iMessage, different hardware that's not available in a PC. To say that Macs are the same as PCs is like making the comparison that's saying all cars are the same because they use the same basic parts for their construction. A DIY PC does provide some of the same parts as many Macs, but do they provide the same experience? Yes, Windows and Mac OS are different experiences and both share common functions, but the Mac OS experience relies on an entirely different philosophy of how to integrate workflow, not only with the Mac itself, but also with other devices within the Mac ecosystem. Mac OS and iOS are linked in a way that Windows just cannot match, doesn't even come close. For many, that added layer of integration and productivity is worth whatever cost it might generate. That's not to mention the addition of Apple's new T2 chip, which handles security, system management, quite a bit of stuff. And there's nothing in the PC world comparable to that chip, unless I'm mistaken. You can tell me down in the comments, but there's more to it than just design and hardware. Macs have always been leagues ahead of PCs when it comes to creative professional work. It's only been relatively recently that audio and video software for the PC has reached some level of parity, and even now, and I speak from experience, the Windows experience for creative professionals doesn't come close to what Macs have to offer. Not only are there Mac-only programs, but the experience, particularly for audio, is decidedly better. It's not just Logic, a Mac-only program. It has a ton to do with how much better Core Audio handles audio, especially when compared to how Windows handles audio. The same is true when using Final Cut Pro for video production. The software is so well optimized for Mac hardware, it torches any Windows counterpart in terms of speed. To have the same kind of experience, you'd have to build a much beefier PC, while lower-end Macs can do a very good job of handling 4K video with Final Cut Pro. Macs are just better than PCs for creative work. And I say that as someone who has used both Mac and PC for the same tasks and have had reliability issues on PC that I have never had on the Mac, as well as an overall less fluid and creative feeling experience. The one place where PCs outperform Macs is in gaming. That's why I have a gaming PC in addition to my collection of Apple products. Some will point to the Hackintosh as the solution for this price to performance problem. And I know many people who have gone that route. But let's be serious here. Hackintosh is not realistic for the majority of users out there who need their computer to just work reliably so they can get their work done. With a Hackintosh, it takes a lot of time to get it up and running, and then there's a lot of maintenance that you have to do in order to keep it running. Apple mobile computing products like laptops are wildly expensive, and the margin between a MacBook Pro and a similarly spec'd Windows laptop is often 1/3 the price or more. There's still an argument that can be made for design and build quality. Apple makes some of the most beautifully designed products, but the price is harder to justify, especially when you go into lower end laptops like the new MacBook Air. But when you look at Apple's desktop products compared to desktop PCs, the gap is much, much slimmer. For example, if you wanted to build the base iMac Pro by buying parts instead of buying from Apple, you could get a similarly spec'd PC and the difference would be less than $100, and you get more in that package with the iMac Pro. At the end of the day, Macs and PCs are just not the same thing. There are significant differences between the two products, to the point where the Mac is a much different beast than the sum of its parts. If you look at price of parts as your only metric for whether or not a Mac is worth it versus the PC, then you're missing a whole bunch of why Macs are different. To say that Macs and PCs are the same thing simply because they share some of the same parts is a reductive, lazy argument, and I'm entirely sick of hearing it. I'm a user of both platforms, and I appreciate both for what they are, but Macs and PCs are not the same thing, and simply put, people who buy Macs don't want a PC, and that's the painfully honest truth. Thanks so much for being here. If you liked it and you want to come back, then you subscribe and you hit the bell notification icon and share this if you think other people might like it. You know, out to all of your social medias, all that kind of stuff. If you've been here before, if you're a long-time painfully honest techer, if you're a member of the Wizard Squad, thank you so much. You know how much I appreciate you. I hope you like this new series. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm sure there will be plenty of things that people have to say, and I'm looking forward to every single one of them. With that said, once again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech, so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.